Hello everyone. Today's lesson is about writing a narrative essay. In this lesson, we will have a look at a narrative writing prompt and we will analyze it. We will also analyze a narrative writing model. We will talk about what does a narrative essay mean, what does a point of view mean, and the main embodied paragraphs in a narrative essay. First of all, let's have a look at a simple definition of the word narrative. Narrative is a story or a description of a series of events. Now let's do this prompt analysis. Read the prompt and answer the questions. Your favorite magazine is having a short story competition. The story should be entitled A Day I'll Never Forget. Write your story 120 to 180 words. The first question is, what are you going to write? A possible answer is a short story. 2. Who is going to read it? Probably the editor of the magazine. Question 3. What should your story be about? It should be about a day that you will never forget. What point of view, first or third person, will it be written in? Since it's a story about yourself and you are going to tell a story about you, that's a first person method of narration. What tenses will you mainly use? It's a story and you're talking about the past. So probably the tenses that you're going to use are the past tenses. Let us do some model analysis. Read the story and choose the correct word. The writer uses a variety of complex and simple sentences. Why? In a narrative essay, if the writer uses a variety of complex and simple sentences, this is probably because he wants to make the reader interested in what he's reading. When I entered the gym that evening, I had no idea what was going to happen. As usual, I went up to the first floor and started working out. After I had finished 2 hours later, I realized the place was empty. As I was walking slowly downstairs, I heard a terrible rumble like thunder. Within seconds, the walls collapsed around me. I fell and was lying in total darkness. I was trapped. I screamed hysterically, but I realized it was useless. Those hours were the longest of my life. It seemed like an eternity before I heard loud voices coming towards me. I shouted frantically for help. A man shouted back, "Don't panic, we'll get you out of here." As soon as they removed the debris and I saw the rescuers' faces, I knew I would be safe. My leg was hurting terribly, but I felt relieved just to be alive. In the story that we've just read, which paragraph includes the climax event? Paragraph C is the paragraph that includes the climax event. It starts with the sentence, "I was trapped. I screamed hysterically." This is the climax. Which paragraph includes how the story ended and the writer's feeling? Paragraph D includes how the story ends and how the writer felt at the end of the story. As we can see that he was safe at the very end of the story, and he felt relieved because he was alive. Which paragraph includes setting the scene? Paragraph A is the paragraph that sets the scene for the story. The writer says, when I entered the gym that evening, I had no idea what was going to happen. So the writer is talking about himself, that's the main character, and the place at the gym, and the time is the evening, this the scene of our story. Which paragraph includes events leading to the climax event? In paragraph B, the writer says, I heard a terrible rumble, like thunder. These are the sentences that the writer wrote to introduce the climax of his events. So in the story of Judge Dredd, the climax event is mentioned in paragraph C, or the third paragraph. And how the story ended is usually at the very end of the story, which is paragraph D. In setting the scene, this usually comes at the very beginning of the story. That's in paragraph E. Paragraph B usually gives the events leading to the climax event. Finally, status quo. Setting the scene. To set the scene, close your eyes and imagine that you are looking at a picture. Try to describe the place where, the time when, the weather, the people involved, who, and their feelings. By this we come to our today's lesson on writing a narrative essay. In this lesson, we talked about how we analyze a narrative writing prompt and how we analyze a narrative writing model. We also talked about points of view, body paragraph and main paragraph in setting the scene, and how to set the scene for your story. Thank you for watching.